Hello, welcome to Jay's Aquatics. So, today I actually want to talk about filtration. I see so many people talking about, oh, you need to filtrate this, we need to add this, or you need to get this expensive pump, or you need to go and get, a hang on the back filter and get like five of them. Or I've heard people get those giant canister filters, the big tank ones that got the two hoses coming out of the top. I hate those. I can't stand a canister filter. Anytime you got to clean it, you got to cut the tank off. You got to worry about overflowing, underflowing, and not having enough water in there. Then there's no flow down in the tank, so you got to oxygenate while you're servicing the giant stupid pump. Then you got to sit there. You got to take everything off, unplug it, take the handle off, take the lid off, take all the contraptions. I refuse to get a canister. I like a simple hang on the back, which I got in here, and I got a little sponge one and a little surface skimmer. I'm only having the big one in the back. I'm doing shrimp tank, so I'm only having the big one in the back while this thing's cycling, which is pretty much done cycling. I just did the shrimp. But I'm going to keep the sponge filter and the surface skimmer. And surface skimmer, I actually have. This is a good one off of Amazon. I really like these. They're like $15. And I believe I've showed them before. But I just throw a bunch of carbon in there and a little bit of filter floss on top. Never had an issue with them. I run that in pretty much every tank in some variation. But my preferred method is to have a hang on the back filter. First thing I'm going to put in is this, just regular carbon. You don't need the zeolite, you don't need the ammonia blocker, any of that other crap. Just get some carbon. Okay, that's going to remove the tannins, which I just redid this one, so that's why it's in this yellow, because I went and did a little bit of a water change and added a bunch of carbon too. So, carbon. Then you're going to want to get yourself filter floss. I love the stuff. Okay, it's cheap. You can get there's so many different types, so many different brands. Basically, the same stuff that's going to be in a pillowcase. Okay, very very good. And if you want to take the time, you can actually reuse it. I don't reuse it because of how cheap it is. I just end up throwing it away. But eventually, I know environmental thing. Some people don't like throwing it away, and they don't like using it because it's not as biodegradable as some other things. But it's cotton. Okay, it's cotton. Here's another one I like. Okay, this is going to be it's just like that stuff, except this is fine. Okay, real thin. So I can look at that right there, but it's basically, maybe a little bit bigger than construction paper. I'll put that in. I'll go carbon, this stuff, and then the filter floss. Filter floss is going to collect all the big stuff first. Fine particles do the fine one, and then last but not least, carbon. That's going to move all the chemicals, the medications, if you use copper ink treatment, and I use that in pretty much every tank too. Just a little bit of that once in a while, because anytime I go to the pet store, for some reason, every pet store I go to, they got ick. I can't find a good pet store that doesn't have ick. But that's pretty much what I use for filtration. I don't sit here and go crazy with it. I got the 65 up and running, which I got to figure out how to take a better video of that, because this is just a laptop and a table, so it'd be I might have to record that on the phone. But anyway, 65 gallons. Right now it's got some sandy gravel at the bottom. Hang on the back filter. One of those little protein surface skimmers over here, not protein skimmer, but little surface skimmer. And I got a heater in that one because I filled that up with the water from outside, and it was too cold outside, so I just put the heater in there. Um, I don't really have heaters in most of my tanks other than the saltwater one, because that one has to be set at between 78 and 80. So my room kind of fluctuates depending on if they turn the heat on or not. Um, but pretty much all my tanks stay around 72 degrees. I've really never had a problem with the temperature being around there. I haven't had any die-offs from that temperature, and none of them seem to be bothered without having a heater. So I just don't run one electricity-wise. The only thing I got running is, each tank is going to have at least one pump and a light. And the lights don't run 24/7. I really only have this one on, and my community tank, which I've showed in another video. I only got those on when I come home. Um, while this thing's cycling, and when I get the shrimp, I might have this on a timer to come on during the day. Really, the only one I have automatically light is the saltwater one, which I got that from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. So I didn't even have that a full 12 hours because I had a big algae problem. And one of the places I went to, they recommended that I don't use 12-hour lighting. So I just cut that back a lot, changed the power, got rid of all the white light, and never had a problem. But pretty much that's what I do with my filtration. Um, Salt water is a little bit different. All I do with that one is some filter floss, and then I have a oh, what's the name of it? Not algae scrubber, but I can't remember the name. Oh well, I'll figure it out. I can't remember the name. Jesus Christ. Oh well. It's like an algae reactor. Basically, it's one of those little white mesh plastic things that algae grows on. And I got a red lamp on top of that. That's all. I don't really have any kind of filtration on that one. I'm probably going to start running a carbon pad in there because some of the coral I got released a certain toxin that's harmful to other corals. So with that one, I'll kind of adjust it. But right now, the tank's doing fine. I really ain't got to do much to it. It's kind of taking care of itself at this point. I just add chemicals once in a while to keep the calcium up. And that's about it. Other than that, that's all I really do. Um, It's very, very simple. I love this hobby because of the simplicity to it. You don't need to go around and spend hundreds of dollars on lighting, on heaters, and special gravel. None of that. None of that. I like keeping a deep substrate. This one I probably could have went a little bit deeper when I usually keep 2 to 3 inches in most of my tanks, so I try to. And I prefer to keep sand at the bottom and then gravel on top. Depending on the tank, I might mix it up like the 65 that's fully mixed, but deep substrate, fully planted, and just a basic filter on there. Do not buy a giant canister filter. I see no use in them unless you're going to have a massive, like 300-gallon system and you need a bunch of filtration. But even then, there's other ways you can do it. Um, I do notice a lot of people talk about overfeeding. And yeah, you don't want to go through and put a giant handful of food in every day. That's the last thing you want to do. If you're going to put food in there, put a little bit in there, and if it's still there within 5 minutes, you got too much. If you put it down there and less than 5 minutes, it's all gone, you're good. Don't go too much. Fish don't need a lot of food. Um, it's They're really not hard to take care of. I wish more and more people would get into this hobby and actually put forth the effort and energy. Just do your research. I know I'm not the most famous channel yet. I've got like 12 views. Yay. I think I got like 3 subscribers, so I'm happy. Um, that's the thing. I just want to promote it more and get more and more people involved in this hobby. It is very fun. It is very relaxing. I could sit here and watch this tank all day long. Mm. Well, Penelope's wanting food, so I'm gonna sign off. Thanks guys for watching. Like and subscribe.